live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Hey, hey, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, 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 we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
Well, the topics.
Yeah.
All right. So, Tiafoe, Frances Tiafoe, who is a tennis player, he lost in the semifinals of the U.S. Open in a historic match. He was the first African-American player, male tennis player to make it to the semifinals since Arthur Ashe in 1972.
Yep.
There are big things on the horizon for him, you know, and it was good to see him kind of make this feat, if you will. You know, obviously he didn't win it, but making it to the semifinals is a big deal, especially for a player who isn't ranked.
Exactly.
And so, how did you feel about seeing that? How did you feel about, you know, especially on the heels of someone like Serena Williams retiring?
Exactly. I feel like the baton was passed this season with Serena, and not just for Coco Gauff, but also for Frances. I feel like, again, her and Venus made it possible for these young people to be out here. He's 24 years old. Coco's 18. Like, they are still very young in this sport. Tennis is not like football. They can play for. I mean, Serena's in her 40s now, I think. So they got a long career ahead, as long as nothing happens to derail them from like injury or anything else if they choose to play. He has such a big heart and plays with so much passion. I just love it, and I do believe that he is going to be back. And I loved all of this is, I think, what social media should be about, right? All of the love he got from people. Supporting him and saying, you know, we proud of you and you did such a good job and you're gonna be back. I mean, Chris Everett was like, expect to be back. Now, this is, if you don't know, listen, because we know people who watch this who are not sports fans. Chris Everett is one of America's female tennis player sweethearts. She was very successful as a tennis player. And so she has a lot of, it's like John McEnroe almost. When you say Chris Everett, it's like John McEnroe. So for her to come out and say, you'll be back to this young man was huge. The guy he lost to is a phenom. I'm just saying. Kid is 19 years old. He's a phenom.
Yeah.
That's all it was to it. He was just out, and it was a good. I mean, they went they played like 4 hours or something. It was crazy. It was not that he made it easy for this young man. So I do feel like he'll be back, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with tennis going forward for American tennis players going forward. Seeing more people of color. I don't mean just African American, people of color entering to play the sport for the U.S. and I'm just representing the United States, and I'm just excited. I'm excited for him. I'm excited for Coco, and I'm excited for whoever else is coming along.
Coming after, definitely.
Yep.
All right, so keeping it on the U.S. Open.
Yes.
Some YouTuber decided to do a prank.
That's his thing. That's what he's known for. He's a prankster on YouTube.
He decided to do a prank at the U.S. Open, though. In the middle of a quarterfinals match, and was promptly
he picked the wrong quarterfinals.
Removed.
Oh,
and that's my thing. I mean, like I know he's a YouTuber. He's known for his pranks, but Pick the right venue, sir.
That's just not the right. Okay, today's going to feel very racially something because he's a Black man. And he was literally, his prank was pretending to cut somebody's hair like they're at the barbershop in the middle of the match. We already not like represented very well.
Right.
There between players and just audience, period. That is not up until I think recently. Again, Serena Williams has to be credited with so many things because she brought a lot of African Americans to the sport.
Right.
And her and especially other celebrities and sports figures, they were coming out to see Serena play. And so, but it's still just a sprinkle.
Right.
So I would have preferred, I mean, the crazy thing is you had to spend pretty penny on 2 tickets because you were sitting down like probably about 3 rows from the front row. You had to spend a pretty penny on them tickets.
Yeah.
It wasn't smart. I get pranks. Just pick your poison. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
This ain't it.
I was gonna say his name, but I feel like
no, that's why I didn't put it because I'm not plugging. I'm not giving you no juice over here. That's what the commentator said at the match. They were like, because they zoomed over to it and they started talking about it, and the one said, "Well, I guess we just gave him what he wanted, which was some plug time." Yep, for his. So yeah.
Yeah. So.
Nope, I'm not gonna say it. Yeah. Nope, exactly why I didn't. That's why I put what I put on purpose.
All right, so we just spoke about Thursday Night Football. Did you see this blowout?
I did not see it
by the Bills.
I did not see it personally. I did not watch the game, but I saw the score and I saw the highlights, and it wasn't pretty. I don't know if it's Super Bowl hangover.
It's some hangover. I mean, that looked like Jack Daniels hangover.
Lord, shout out to Jack Daniels. We're not talking about y'all. Like y'all whiskey, yeah. But yeah. But
yeah.
Yeah. There's no real explanation for it because it's really weird, because I know that people like Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford and Aaron Donald are not slackers. So, I mean, and it's more people, but I'm just saying these are like your key people.
Yeah.
And they're not slackers. So it was really perplexing to me as to how this happened. Not taking anything away from the Bills. They were prepared. They were efficient. They were everything they needed to be. I think they had much more to prove. That might have been what it was. Just as simple as we were supposed to be, just that simple. This should have been us, right? We want everybody to know this should have been us. Like, right. So that could have just been as simple as it was, but I don't know. But people had something to say.
Well, a whole bunch of people had something to say. But one of the main people who had something to say was OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr., who's defending the Rams while he is being actively pursued by the Bills. And in particular, Von Miller, who is doing his best to pitch him or his best to bring him to the Bills or recruit him to the Bills.
Yep.
What'd you think about OBJ's defense of the Rams?
I actually, is it smart business for him? Maybe not, but I actually appreciated it because this is somebody who played with these guys. And while he got hurt in the Super Bowl, he still understood the character of the people that he played with. And I feel like he was defending them from the standpoint of y'all counting them out when this was just game one.
Right.
And he knows that these are the type of people they're gonna go regroup, figure it out, and get better. So I appreciated him for not being somebody who would get on the bandwagon. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, see, they should have, because they could have, and he could have used, they could have kept, if they had me, you know, that kind of thing. Like, maybe if they kept me, we wouldn't get that.
Right.
He could have been petty like that. But I appreciate that he was supportive of his former team. That speaks volumes to me about how he felt about those guys, because this had been the Browns, I don't think he would have done it. Maybe not even the Giants. Actually,
you know what? Maybe. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Well, if Baker Mayfield was in it, no.
No, so I don't know if you heard this, but a few weeks ago, he actually came out with and made some statements supporting Baker Mayfield.
That's awesome. I love that. I mean, I would hope he would be that person, but and so he's this consummate teammate. It seems like he's this consummate teammate, and he is when he your teammate, and that just is who he is. Like, he gonna look at you as a brother from now on, like that kind of thing. And that's the way sports should be, right? I feel like, you know, we on this field, we gonna dog it out and do what we need to do on this field. But when we off the field, like, you still my brother. Yeah. And you know what I mean? And I like that.
That thing a few weeks ago when he gave his support for Baker Mayfield, it made me think. I was like, the media ran with this idea that because OBJ's dad made that clip and put it out on social media, that OBJ had something to do with it, or maybe he just didn't care for Baker Mayfield. And it made me think about my father, who I say would have been probably a more tame, calm version of
Odell Beckham.
No,
because he's a senior.
Ball.
Oh God.
Yeah.
You're not gonna put no.
I feel like he would have been a more tame. But I'm just saying, like, as far as being outspoken in the media and stuff like that, like, I think my dad 100% would have been like that.
He would have let him know how you feel.
Yeah.
For sure.
But
he wouldn't have been no fool like Waldo.
Right. But I probably wouldn't have been able to call my dad and say, "Hey, Dad, don't tweet that video that you about to put up of, you know what I'm saying, such and such not getting me the ball." Right. Yeah. Like, nah, I'm pushing the button.
I'm pushing the button right now. Right now. Yeah.
And so, you know, I think everybody ran with that and took that to mean that Odell felt a way about Baker. And so it was good to see him come out in support of Baker and say those words about him. And so I think that adds to the fact of what we believe to be true about OBJ. Like, he is the consummate teammate.
He is. I need people to stop putting that narrative of him being messy or cancerous or whatever that is out there, because that's not true. He's passionate about what he does, and
he's never been in trouble.
But they want to say he messy in the locker room or something. Like, they want us to believe that he's like cancerous for the locker room and for the team, and I don't believe that to be true. Yes, is he passionate? Yes, does he get overly animated sometimes? Absolutely, but it's out of passion for the game. It's not a personal thing for him. So I just, I don't know, but we'll see. And I hope he does listen, because the way the Bills look, he might go there and get him another ring.
Now look at that, 2 rings. Because I believe the trajectory that he was on in the Super Bowl, he probably would have won Super Bowl MVP.
Yes.
Imagine if he go win 2 Super Bowls back to back with 2 different teams, man. That'd be.
Y'all better have a conversation about what this man bring to the table if that happens.
Exactly. Put some respect on his name.
That put some respect on his name for sure. For sure.
Put the cameras on me.
Put the cameras on me. Put the cameras on me. Put the cameras on me. Put the cameras on me. Put the cameras on me. Put the cameras on me.